Mr. President, I appreciate the Senator Specter letting me have a few minutes here on an incredibly important issue. I rise in support of the nomination to the United States Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit, a distinguished jurist from New Jersey, Judge Joseph Greenaway, Jr., who seems to be blocked by some people in this chamber, yet unknown. I know it's not from my side of the aisle because I've checked. So it's on the Republican side of the aisle. And yet Judge Greenaway fully embodies the respect for justice and the rule of law that we demand of all of our judges. He has strong bipartisan support, and his nomination could easily have been taken care of this evening, but for a few Republicans blocking the vote. And so I say to my friends on the other side of the aisle, end the obstructionism. Do what's right. Let us have a vote on this eminently qualified, non-controversial nominee. It is clear that the obstruction of this nomination is not about this nominee. He's eminently qualified. I'll talk about that in a moment. And it's not about what's right for this nation. It's certainly not about acting in the best interest of a badly overburdened federal judicial system. In fact, oddly enough, it's not about ideology. It's not even about Judge Greenaway or the other 7 nominees that our friends are delaying. It's about the politics of having this president and this Congress fail, the politics of no, the politics of obstruction, of stopping any progress on any issue and almost every nominee. Mr. President, our friends on the other side came to the floor in the last administration of President Bush, on countless occasions to argue for an up or down vote. I heard that many times. Give us an up or down vote, demanding that a simple majority of the president's nominees is all that's needed, a simple majority of this chamber. That is a position diametrically opposed to their position today. In fact, they went so far at that time to proclaim that filibusters of the president's nominations were unconstitutional, and they threatened what became known then as the nuclear option, to undo the right of senators to filibuster a nominee. Well, which is it? What do my friends on the other side believe is right? Or is the question, what do they believe will work? Where is the call for an up or down vote now from our Republican colleagues? Where is the argument on the unconstitutionality of filibusters now? You can't have it both ways. We can agree to disagree on some nominees on principle, and we have over the years. But the numbers this year belie any notion that the obstruction of Judge Greenaway and all of the pending nominees are purely a matter of principle. In this past year, our Republican colleagues have obstructed virtually all of the president's nominees, confirming only 12 federal circuit and district court nominees, the lowest number in a half-century. Let me repeat that again, the lowest number in a half-century. Contrast that to the 100 judicial nominees confirmed in the 17 months that Chairman Leahy chaired the Judiciary Committee during the Bush administration. As Chairman Leahy has pointed out on this floor, in December of 2001, the first year of George W. Bush's administration, Senate Democrats confirmed 10 of President Bush's nominees in December alone, leaving only 4 nominations on the calendar in the first year. And all 4 of those nominees were confirmed soon after the Senate returned the following year in 2002. In stark contrast, this past December, our Republican colleagues left 10 judicial nominees without Senate action. and insisted on returning 2 of them to the president for renomination. So I urge my colleagues to reconsider, to end this obstructionism, and allow this body to exercise its constitutional authority of advice and consent and confirm the nomination of Joseph A. Greenaway to the United States Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit. He's eminently qualified and deserves consideration. And let me close on that. At the age of 40, Justice Greenaway was appointed by then-President Clinton to the federal bench, where he served for over a dozen years with distinction. By the way, he got put through by unanimous consent. There was a unanimous consent of the chamber when he was put on the federal bench. He got through unanimously out of the Judiciary Committee for this position on the appellate division. Unanimous out of the committee. Joe Greenaway earned a Bachelor of Arts from Columbia University, where he was honored in 1997 with the Columbia University Medal of Excellence and with the John Jay Award in 2003. He was an Earl Warren Legal Scholar at Harvard University. He clerked for the late Honorable Vincent Broderick in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York. He became an assistant U.S. attorney in Newark and later received a promotion to become chief of the Narcotics Bureau. In the private sector, he was an associate with the firm of Kramer, Levin, Nesson, Kamen, and Frankel, and served at Johnson & Johnson as an in-house counsel. He's got incredible background. He's chair emeritus of the Columbia College Black Alumni Council and has been an adjunct professor at Rutgers Law School. Currently, he is an adjunct professor at the Cardozo School of Law and at Columbia College, where he teaches courses on trial practice and a seminar on the Supreme Court. But this is merely Judge Greenaway's impressive resume in one way, a distinguished resume to say the least, but it does not do justice to the man. There is an inscription over the 10th Street entrance to the Department of Justice, a few blocks from here. It reads this way: "Justice in the life and conduct of the state is possible only as it first resides in the hearts and souls of men." The 2 qualities of justice do indeed reside in the heart and soul of Joe Greenaway, and he deserves a vote. He grew up in Harlem, in the Northeast Bronx. He is accomplished and successful, but he's also given much back. He's been instrumental in mentoring students and graduates, often taking them under his wing as law clerks or fellows. He once said, and I quote, "I tell my students to work hard and work smart. Our profession requires a drive to search for perfection, and without that goal, mediocrity becomes the norm." He's always strived for excellence. He's always taught young lawyers to do the same. So, Mr. President, Judge Joseph Greenaway respects the law for all that Judge Greenaway stands for justice served, for honor and decency, for the qualities and qualifications that have brought him to this place in his career, for his years of service and his judicial temperament, for his respect for the Constitution and precedent, for the fact that justice does indeed reside in the heart and soul of this man, for the fact that, in fact, he was unanimously passed out of the Judiciary Committee and previously, to become a district court judge, got the unanimous consent of this body. And somehow, despite all of that history and all of that qualification, there are colleagues on the Republican side of the aisle holding up this nominee. I urge my colleagues to end the obstructionism and to give us a vote up and down. And I know that when we get that vote, Judge Joseph A. Greenaway will be confirmed to the United States Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit. And I will continue to come to the floor to dramatize this challenge. We cannot have a set of circumstances under which the judiciary labors, especially with eminently qualified bipartisan candidates, because there are those who want to see this president or this Congress fail. It's about the nation not failing. It's about our judicial system not failing. It's not about the politics of obstructionism. And with that, Mr. President, I yield the floor.